Should we
Potty
start this
trainers?
thing?
Yeah.
Should we start the? Yeah, let's get this over with.
Potty trainers?
I hate doing this,
No.
by the way.
This is a chore for me.
Nobody cares. Nobody
It's
listens.
sad.
Yes, I'm leaving all of this in.
Yikes.
Honestly, I
Tell us how
hate
you really feel.
anybody who listens. I hate them.
Yeah, and
Well, we
honestly,
established
I
that.
don't even like you guys anymore either. Like
Well,
this
I've
has just
grown-
killed
right.
anything.
This is
Hello and welcome to the Now We're Talking Podcast, episode 3. Yep, we're back again, baby. Let's
Who would've
go.
thought?
Who would have thunk it? All right, today I am joined by the one, the only Daniel Walters.
No, Matt thought you were going to talk about him. All right.
yeah.
I
I
wasn't
knew.
sure
I
which
knew.
one.
yeah.
Gotta stay
And-
ready.
Also joined by Matthew,
Oh,
and
but you're dropping
then
the full name here?
I suppose I am your host again, Chris.
Woo!
Pose. Yeah.
Yeah. Please hold the
Chris.
applause. Hold the applause. This is in front of a
On.
live studio audience. Unless you're watching the
Start this
video
off-
version, then you would know that it's
To
not.
start this off, Chris, I just want to let you know I have no problem with you being in this podcast personally.
Okay, that's good to know, actually. Dan,
Yeah.
do you have any? I mean,
Uh,
speak now or forever hold your peace.
I withhold my thoughts. I plead the fifth on this one.
Okay, so you're abstaining. So that
I'm
means
abstaining. yeah,
within
yeah.
100% for me being in the podcast, I am staying on. But
Yeah.
All right.
unfortunately, I'm going to have to announce that this will be my last appearance on the podcast.
Ooh.
Oh, gosh. Chris, it was a good run. It was a good run.
Well, That's fine. Dan,
Sorry
should
for
we
the-
tell him?
Sorry for the whiplash.
yeah,
Should
man,
we
I
tell
don't know.
him
I don't
that
know. Should we
me
break
and
the
Dan
news?
actually created a new group chat without you?
Are you
We
serious?
did. Yeah, it's
You
just
guys
me and
creating
Dan.
your own podcast without me?
It's our own. It's our
Yeah, I
own.
mean-
It's our own group chat. Just
Dang.
two
the
of us.
Shanksters.
Yeah.
The Shanksters podcast? That's
Yeah,
pretty good.
Shanksters, yeah.
Mm.
Well, I remember just on the topic of the name Effie Shanks. I remember one time in college we looked up the name in quotes on Google, F.E. Shanks, to see if there was a guy actually named Effie Shanks. And I remember, I think we found an obituary from like the 1800s.
Hmm.
A guy actually named Effie Shanks.
No.
So yeah, that guy's rolling over in his grave. thinking,
No
"Oh,
shot,
crazy."
dude.
Little do you
Positive.
know,
We're happy
I'm
he died.
actually him reincarnated. I
Well-
will admit that I went today to the Starbucks, the local Starbucks.
You
the
did
local
not.
one,
You did not. You're
I
not going
got
to do
that.
what I think
And,
you did.
and you're
and I
running a
got
marathon?
Pumpkin spice latte.
Oh,
Let's
my
go.
The
Dude.
day it came out, they came out today,
Wow.
and I went and got one.
You and
You
all
know,
the white girls, huh?
I'm going to be honest. I think Starbucks, and
Oh, no way.
this may ruffle some feathers. Starbucks sucks.
Dude, is that the certified wash segment already?
I don't know. I don't like Starbucks. dude.
Starbucks is the certified wash of the week.
Dang. Sorry.
I'm
I
not
mean,
mad.
I said one last week, so if somebody else wants to do it this week, I'm not trying to take it 2 weeks in a row.
Well, I think Matt wants to say your opinion is certified washed. That's what certified washed.
I think all of your opinions now to me will be
Don't do it. Don't do it.
certified. All right, I'm not going to do it.
Thank you. Thank you.
I
No.
don't believe that.
Okay, look, if I have the option of taking a local coffee shop for the exact
like-
same price
But that's no comparison.
over a
Like,
Starbucks.
of course, the local is going to be better, man.
Yeah, but why
It's
would
like
I
it's
ever go to a
I'm so
Starbucks?
hip.
then?
I'm so hip. I'm so cool and retro. I go to local coffee shops.
Chris is like,
Name's
local coffee
Chris.
shops are so hipster, dude. I'm such a hipster.
Well,
I'm
I
such
don't
a
even.
hipster.
Well, so here's the thing. I don't even drink
Love
coffee
campus
really,
community.
anyways. I don't really
You don't
drink
even drink
coffee,
coffee, dude.
anyways.
So, Chris, you're a non-coffee drinker giving an opinion about
Okay,
coffee.
okay. So I like went through a period over the last few years where I drank coffee on a semi-regular basis.
Okay.
Recently, I decided to cut out caffeine, and I've like only had like a couple caffeinated drinks in the last like 2 months. I don't know. Starbucks is not good, dude. It is just not. Some of their hot coffees are okay because I feel like it's kind of hard to mess up a hot coffee.
Really? I feel like it's way easier to mess up a hot coffee.
I don't know, man. I've had so many drinks messed up at Starbucks though that I I'm done.
Wait, where was it on campus that every time you would go there, they would mess up your order like without fail? Do you remember that?
Sub connection,
So- yeah, that's what it was. It was like
Subco.
every single time.
Yeah, man,
without
something
fail.
would always be messed up, and I would have the easiest order.
Yeah.
Like it would just be like a sub on
cheese.
white bread with turkey, cheese, lettuce, and tomato. That was it. Not hard. Well, apparently, and they would always mess something up. Up. I don't know, man.
They just saw the name. They're like, oh, it's him again. Let's
Yep.
mess it up.
Seriously,
It was like maybe an inside joke for the staff, and you just didn't realize it.
it must have
just messing
been,
with
dude. It must have been.
Hey, this Chris
I don't know.
guy's back.
Hey.
Just imagine.
All right. Let's dive into some of the old hot topics that we've cooked up today on our cooking show.
What's in the kitchen?
So
What's on the menu?
we've got a few things, and I'm not sure if we're going to be able to hit all of them today because I could see
Well,
some
I
of
hope-
these turning into lengthy conversations,
Oh,
possibly.
all right.
Sorry. What were you going to say, Dan?
Just never mind. I was just gonna say I hope we're not hitting anything because we don't condone violence on this.
Well,
podcast.
we might hit that jewel, but other than that,
That's what I'm talking about.
that leads us to our first question of the day.
Mm.
What do you guys think one of our funniest stories or memories as a group are? It doesn't necessarily have to include all three of us. It could just include like two of us or something like that. I could lead off actually with one that I just thought of 5 seconds ago when we were talking about jewels.
Oh,
All stories start there.
Yeah.
The Jewel Pod.
All roads lead back to jewels. So I mean, I think that this is kind of funny. You know, one of the members of this podcast got really into jewels a few years ago. You know, I won't disclose that person's name.
Let's
They
just
can-
say I have asthma, so it wasn't me. So
And it wasn't me.
Well, I have seasonal allergies, so
So it's up for debate who it was.
yeah.
put it in the
But
poll.
so
poll, dude.
this person kind of like went back and forth on if they wanted the jewel, and they would throw their jewel away to try to quit cold turkey and then rebuy a new one.
They were like $50 back then. I think.
Oh, how
This
do you
was
know
like
that, man?
before like all the regulations on like flavors and stuff were in place, I think.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. So this was like
Dan knows all about that.
Nah, I deny it. I deny it.
So but what I thought was a funny story was this one day I was staying over at this person's house or their apartment, and I hid their jewel from them.
What a monster.
Just to, you know, try to be funny.
Just cause a
Um,
ruckus.
And for some reason I decided to hide it in my backpack because I was like coming in from out of town.
Great spot.
And I was like, oh yeah, like he'll never look here, right? You know, anticipating to remember that I'm going to give it back to him before I leave to go home. Took it home.
Oh,
So
And
I
then
yeeted his
Chris
jewel.
got addicted to it.
Yeah.
Chris,
and,
what flavor was in it? How was it?
Root beer. What's up?
That's cool.
Yeah, no. So I mean, I thought that was kind of funny that I accidentally stole this person's jewel for like
Yo.
a week or two.
Accidentally.
Say-
Yeah.
I would say it's funny, but maybe for the person who originally owned the jewel, who like then had to suffer like not having it.
Yeah.
And like go through one of the hardest times of their lives because they didn't have it and they depended on it every day, all day for a whole year or so.
Right.
I think that was kind of a terrible time for them. Dan,
Right.
would you say that would stink for you?
I mean, if that were hypothetically me, that would stink. And if it were hypothetically you, I think that might also stink.
It's like taking a baby's bottle or pacifier away. That's what it was. It's an
Oh
adult.
my
pacifier.
gosh.
Chris is a fan of making babies.
You're a bully?
cry.
You're a bully. You hate babies, and you take their pacifiers away
Yeah.
from them.
That's
Wow.
Chris's favorite pastime. He's like, I'm just gonna take this pacifier, put it in my backpack, and then just pretend like I didn't know what the heck I was doing.
Are you known for
Yeah.
taking babies' pacifiers?
I mean, it depends on who you'd ask.
They're $50 limited edition mango pod pacifiers that they have. Sometimes
That's actually a
creme
good idea.
brulee. Creme brulee was the
Look.
flavor, I'm pretty sure.
Look, I would
I would
never.
know.
I would never. Okay, I mean never. Come
That
on.
was back in my prime, dude. Those were the best days of my life. So Dan was going through it, I guess, because he was the one who was smoking the jewel.
Yeah, I was really going through it.
So
I
yeah,
guess you could say I was a menace back then. So
Still are. Something like
I'm a born again menace. Oh,
I don't know. You guys got anything? I feel like that's not
Well-
that great of a story, but
There's
it
one
was
that-
kind of
that I've
funny
got
when you were there.
that now it reminds me of this story because of what after you told it is a couple years before that when my best friend and closest friend name is Thomas and I've known him since I was 5. It's my stuffed animal giraffe. I still have this giraffe as well. I'm a grown 27-year-old man and I still have this giraffe. But Chris, one day, it's a very similar situation to Dan's Jewel, was that he took my giraffe home for the weekend too. And I think you even sent me pictures of him like in your passenger seat or something or
Yeah.
something. You were
Oh
like
my
giving
God.
me updates like you guys were on like a vacation together.
Yeah, we were. That
See,
was
this
in
is
my
further proof. This is further proof that Chris hates kids.
Okay,
He's
there's
stealing
a
pacifiers,
huge
he's stealing giraffes
stuffed
that they've had
animals,
since
stealing
5 years old,
pacifiers.
there's a
Yeah.
huge distinction to make though. This one was completely intentional. I definitely meant it.
Yeah.
This was-
He was intentionally bullying here.
Yes, yeah.
He wasn't accidentally bullying.
No, yeah. That was back in my Snapchat era where I was
Great
very
era.
it was a good era actually. That was when I frequently posted Snapchat stories, and that's actually something we'll maybe get into in a little bit. So yeah, I watched some of these videos a week or two ago because I re-downloaded Snapchat, and yeah, no, I've got like a bunch of stuff from that. Like was taking videos and
That's nice.
I filmed me stealing it from you.
Chris hates children. I'm not a child, but I'm saying that I guess
Well, I
wouldn't
mean-
make me manly, so he hates children.
Yeah, just unrelated to
thing-
this situation.
Another thing that's
Yeah.
unrelated to you guys is I also had a Woody doll, and
I remember that guy.
I from Toy Story, and I had a Woody doll, and I remember coming back one day, and the Woody and Thomas were both on my bed, and I came back and I think Woody was hanging from someone took a
Yeah, I remember.
iPhone charger and
Yeah.
hung his neck up in my bunk bed, and he was just hanging like this, so it looked like Woody was just dead.
So bad, dude. It's so
Like,
bad.
oh my god! Like,
It's
why
messed
are
up.
people not leaving me alone?
And
Now
that was
I've-
Chris too. Chris did that.
That
it
was
forced
not
to grow
me.
up- Forced me to grow up. I got rid of all those knickknacks, and now I just go to my 9 to 5 every day and live in
Yeah.
the real world. So, thanks,
Heck.
guys.
Heck yeah, brother.
Thanks, guys.
American dream right there.
That's American dream, baby.
Now you're a born again menace, right?
I'm a born again menace.
That's how the arc started. Well, I mean, I do kind of have a story, but I feel like it's not really a story. It's just something I heard secondhand. So this is attached to a somewhat positive memory. Is in college we all started watching, dare I say it, Naruto, dude. We all started watching Naruto. I don't know if we want to, oh, look at that,
Oh.
Jiraiya. Little bobblehead action.
Hold on.
Well, you have more Naruto stuff
Keep
in your
going.
room? But anyway, I just remember Matt at one point, so the story how we started watching it was Matt was just chilling out in the TV, like in our room watching TV, and I came in from classes one day and I'm like, dude, are you watching Naruto? He's like, yeah, it's a good show. So I watched Naruto in 8th grade, and ever since then I thought, dude, Naruto is stupid. Why ever watch that show? But then after sitting down and watching it with him, I'm like, dude, I remember this, I remember that. And I actually felt like this is kind of a good show. So we all started watching it, and then Chris, you started getting on board, and then Brian too. But I remember all this to say is that there was one time that Matt said he went to, I don't remember why, but he went to the anime club on our campus just to see what it was about, because I guess he thought,
Oh my!
and that right there on screen, that explains it all. That's all you need to know right there.
Dude, is this not sick?
So for those of you listening to this on Spotify, Matt is in a Akatsuki outfit from Naruto right now.
And there it is.
Yeah.
It's basically
It's
like
just
a
like,
robe.
I just wear this when I'm chilling. It's kind of like a snuggie.
That's his pajamas, actually.
Yeah, he sleeps in it.
Yeah.
He's just all about that Naruto life. But anyway, all that to say, of course, after what you just saw or heard, Matt went to the anime club. You even have the mask. My gosh.
Obito, is that
Not at
you?
all, man.
Yeah, he went to the anime club, and I just remember you told me, Matt, that they were just like they asked you like, "Hey man, so what kind of anime do you watch?" You're like, "Dude, I am a big fan of Naruto. Like I love Naruto."
Gosh.
And they just started clowning on you like, "Dude, you
Dude, they
watch
roasted
Naruto?"
me. I remember that.
Imagine
They were
getting
like,
roasted.
Bullied him out of the club.
You got bullied by the
Like,
anime
oh, yeah.
club.
Oh, anime? I guess you can call that an anime. I'm like, all right, take it easy, you dweebs. I was giving you a chance, and now I'm gone.
Oh my gosh, dude. Yeah, imagine just getting bullied by the anime club.
Yeah,
I'm
That's
into
pretty
anime.
impressive. That's pretty impressive.
I watched two anime movies yesterday by Miyazaki. I watched My Neighbor Totoro.
Oh, classic.
It was great. I watched that alone. And then I watched Howl's Moving Castle with my roommates. And it was great as well. And we've been watching Castlevania. We
nice.
finished Berserk. Don't start Berserk if you are looking for some sort of ending, because they only do the first volume and then they say you have to read the manga to continue. So
Manga.
Manga.
Oh man, you pronounce it as manga? Are you even an anime fan?
Anyway, I tried rewatching Naruto like a week ago or 2 weeks ago,
Oh,
and
nice.
I get it. I'm over it. I've been on the same fight for like 8 episodes, and they've barely done anything.
Wait,
I'm over it.
so you don't like Naruto anymore, man?
I like it if they made like a version of it that was just like, here's the whole fight in 2 episodes, not here's the whole fight in 12 episodes, and they have to describe every single little thing that they do. Now that I'm
cliche, dude.
now that I'm an adult and not in college, I don't have time to watch all that.
So you went to college when you were a kid? Is that why
I
Chris
was,
stole
yeah, I
your
was a
giraffe?
child. I had a stuffed animal doll that Chris stole from me.
Now it makes more
So-
sense.
That was the weekend Matt grew up.
Yeah,
You're
I was
welcome.
forced into manhood.
And you still not watched Hunter x Hunter?
Look, my friend
Ah.
put on some Hunter x Hunter highlights last weekend. I know, sick weekend. And I was like, hey, I'm actually gonna watch this, and this looks really cool, and it looks a lot cooler than the lame episodes that I'm on right now.
No,
And
no
he
way.
was like, okay, and then he turned it off. He's like, I don't want to spoil anything, and I was like, all right, good.
Dude, you
But-
gotta watch it. It's so good.
I was watching the first like 6 episodes, and I was like,
It gets so much better, dude.
Yeah, I watched up to the first 5, I think. And then...
cheesy Pokemon.
No,
Yes.
dude, no.
Chris is so disappointed.
Yeah, it's for babies. Goo goo gaga.
It is like
Fire.
That would mean Chris would hate it, though,
It is
if it was for
not
babies.
like it is not like that the rest of the time.
All right, so you say.
Yeah.
I liked it personally. I don't know why I didn't continue.
I will say that anime clubs now are like normal / cool. And when we were in high school and college, they were like what people made fun of.
Yeah.
Now it's like everybody wants to be in those.
Right.
So
Oh yeah,
I'm like, what's going on
tides
here?
have shifted. You were just ahead of the
Um,
curve. That's what it was.
I
You
guess
started the
so.
trend.
Sometimes I wear that into work instead of like a suit jacket. I just wear that robe.
Oh, nice.
They know what's up.
Well, on the topic of stealing, I know Chris, you stole something that belonged to me as well. and hid it.
Oh, that
Okay,
that I
now-
approve. I
now-
approve of that.
Now, this one I didn't steal. I just hid it in your place of dwelling.
Which sounds like stealing to me. You know,
It's
I didn't-
borderline
full
stealing.
misplacement.
I didn't take it anywhere outside of where you lived.
Yeah, okay. You thought about it though.
I just lost it for you. if
Yeah, you
will.
lost it on purpose.
Right.
I willingly lost it.
Right.
You took my penny whistle, dude. You took my penny whistle.
And you know, it was a long time coming.
No, yeah, Dan, I'm gonna have to agree with Chris. That was okay. That was a good thing.
Oh, come on, dude. You know what's crazy? You know, the penny whistle actually relates back to Naruto, come to think of it. This all comes full circle.
You know what's
because
out of
I
its
remember-
mind?
What?
Keep going.
Okay. But I remember I was on fall break with my parents because they decided to come visit me rather than me come home for like 2 days and then drive right back to Virginia for college.
You? What idiots! Sorry, please.
You know what, Matt? Anyway, no comment. But yeah, so anyway, we were on a vacation at I forget where it was, but it was some like historic Virginian like landmark or something. And in the gift shop, they had penny whistles. So like, dude, I'll just get a penny whistle. What the heck? A little souvenir. And then I remember I sent you a
What
video
the heck? You
as
know?
soon as I got it. Yeah, what the heck? Just get a penny whistle.
YOLO.
So I remember I sent you a video as soon as I got home of me trying to play the song Sadness and Sorrow from Naruto on the penny whistle. And that was kind of its debut.
And I don't
ever
think we
since that
minded
moment-
it that much when you did that.
So what changed, dude? What changed?
So many things.
Like what, dude?
Like you brought it back. So after you were away, you bring it back, and then you play it in our
That I
room.
did.
But you weren't playing any songs. You were
You ever
just
heard of
like,
jam session.
yeah,
a jam session,
this was not one of those. This was just trying to get on our nerves. Let's just be
All right,
honest
maybe
here.
just a little bit. Maybe just a little bit. You know, just a
Yeah.
little bit.
That's
Yeah.
accurate.
You know, 3
It's
o'clock in the
canon.
morning, no big deal. You know, just a little jam sesh.
Little penny
Never got that
whistle sesh at 3 a.m.
Penny whistle shesh.
Mm, mm.
Yeah, so
Loved
that
it.
thing should have been broken years before I stole
I still
it.
have it. It might still be in my room somewhere,
Yeah, well,
collecting dust. Thankfully, Chris.
or
Well,
maybe I lost it for you again.
Oh, so that's where it is.
You're not going to be able to find that.
It was like in the couch or something. It wasn't even that
It
good
was
of a
some
hiding
obvious
spot. Yeah.
Honestly, I don't think I searched for it that hard. I'm like, all right, you know what?
Yeah.
If it has to be taken away, so be it. I think you were the one who confessed to me where it was, actually.
Probably.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Anyway, enough about the penny whistle.
I should have taken that to my grave.
It's like on your deathbed, tell me where it is.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't think of any. I'm sure we have more, but I can't think of any
Yeah.
good ones. Maybe we're just not that funny, you know?
Dude,
I
we're washed.
I think that could be it.
That could be part of it.
That was the full extent of all our stories in college. That was it. Like,
That
we
was
literally
it.
have no more stories.
I stole a few things. 2 out of the 3 times I was in the right to do it. That's a pretty good percentage, I'd say.
Yeah.
Other than that, I mean, that was about it. So, what is the craziest thing you have done that nobody knows about? Okay, it doesn't have to be the
Oh my
craziest thing, but what's like a
This is-
crazy
this is-
thing that
This
you've
is a
done?
crazy question. That
That's
I've
Chris
never
for you.
told anybody, and now it's just going to be out in the
Yeah.
in the
Or
internet.
that you've not told like many people, like that most people wouldn't know about.
Mm.
Hmm.
Like maybe you and a few people. I have a good example of one.
All right, well, you go first, Chris. You go
okay,
first.
okay.
Set the
You
example.
guys probably know this one, but a lot of people I know probably don't. So my junior year of college, me and my roommate at the time, Zach, we had this little Snapchat series called "Doesn't Give an F," and it was basically just he was just doing stupid stuff. I was the cameraman, and it was so weird how it even like came about. I was just like filming Zach on the hall one day, and he just did like some weird thing. Like he walked into the bathroom and like turned the faucet on and just like walked right out, and I captioned it like, "This guy just doesn't even give an F." And then we made a video every single night in that vein for the entire semester.
Yeah, those were good. I like those videos a lot.
Some of them
Yeah,
were
those are good
good.
ones.
Some of them were really bad. I've gone back and watched a few recently.
So how
Um,
many in total were there?
Oh, I don't know. I think I lost some of them. Unfortunately, I'd have to go through and look through like some old hard drives and stuff because I tried to save them all, but I'm not sure if I like lost it along the way. So all that to say, some of these videos were very elaborate. Some of them were kind of like, oh shoot, what are we gonna do tonight? But on this one night, we decided that Zach was going to ghost ride. And so if you don't know what that is, basically it's like when you get out of your car while it's moving. So it's like you drive your car, you get out and like walk around or something like that. So we did this in the pit, which was like the big parking lot near where our dorm was. So there's cars everywhere. Everywhere. And we had another person out there. Brian was out there with us. And we were being so stupid though. Like this could have ended so badly.
Yeah.
Like we
sound like the
Yeah.
best idea.
And Chris, not to interrupt, but this was back in the day when Snapchat only let you upload like 10-second
yeah, we
videos,
had a
right?
10-second
So
window. So
You
thankfully
couldn't
we
just
got it in
shoot
one shot.
something- You couldn't shoot something, edit it, and then upload it. Like you literally just
No.
like, do it all in one take,
Mhm.
all in 10 seconds, right?
Yeah, yeah. And thankfully we did it in one take. But so our setup here was Zach's driving the car. I'm behind the car with the camera. Brian is on the right side of the car, not inside of it, as if that's going to do anything while the car is moving.
Just emotional support. you know,
Doesn't make any sense. So
just spotting the car.
yeah, right. Like he's gonna stop like a 1-ton car or something. I don't know, however heavy cars are. So we filmed the video. Zach gets out of the car. Car's rolling along down the pit. Thankfully, it worked out. Thankfully, what ended up happening was Zach had to sprint back to the car to slam on the brakes.
How did this end? Like,
Yeah, no, it ended fine. It ended okay, but it's really funny because in the video, like the video turned out fine, but at the very end of it, you see for like a half second, Zach starts sprinting back towards the car, and there was no way for us to edit it out. So I don't think most people would have noticed it.
the good little catch though to see. I actually could make the video funnier, just like at the
Yeah,
very end.
true.
Like,
Yeah. So Zach catches up to the car and like the doors open. So he tries to like hop back in. He almost fell when he hopped back in. So it could have ended up rolling even farther. It's probably the dumbest thing I've ever done in my entire life, which I guess I was just the camera guy and it wasn't my car, but
Yeah.
so dumb.
but,
We
I
should have
mean-
just had Brian in the back of the car.
Why, yeah, I was
Brian
gonna say,
do it.
why not just have somebody like duck down in the passenger seat?
Yeah, like hide under a blanket or something. I don't know. There's
Yeah.
so like it was so stupid, dude. Like it was so dumb. And thankfully it didn't turn out poorly, but it very easily could have ended up being like we have an occupied car hitting a
Rolling down
parked
a
car. Yeah, that
Yeah.
would have been really bad. So that's something
anything
that
for the
most
content.
people I mean at the time, yeah. That's definitely the dumbest thing that I've ever been a part of in my entire life.
So what I've learned
An
today
accident
is
happened.
Chris hates babies,
Hate babies.
and Chris lets cars just drive down parking lots unoccupied.
Well,
You
I
kinda
was
sound
just
like
the
a-
cameraman.
You kind of sound like a born again menace, from all these stories.
No, I'm reformed. So that's kind of like what I was that's part of what inspired the question. So
I
you
like
you guys have anything similar?
I mean,
Okay.
I don't really. Oh, go ahead, man. Go ahead.
that one. No, go.
I mean, I was just gonna say I don't really know what would be like appropriate for the podcast, because it's like I don't know how much of a menace you want me to seem like.
Oh, whoa! What have you been
Yeah.
doing?
So I mean,
Elaborate.
I could send you guys a sample of something I cooked up this morning, but I don't know if that's podcast appropriate.
Wait, what's up?
I worked on a
What?
new batch. Maybe you guys would want to sample.
The blue stuff?
I'm not going to specify what color it
Dude,
is,
they're
but if you guys,
popcorners. Come on.
yeah, I
Come
mean,
on,
I've had some
popcorners.
popcorners. The salty and sweet actually in the red bag.
Come
That's actually my favorite. I've just been repackaging them and tweaking the
on.
recipe a little bit.
I've got one that's kind of funny. I guess it's not like oh my god, like
Yeah.
nobody knows this about me.
Yeah.
But I got in trouble with the law. Let's see.
Only once or
So
twice.
It was senior year of I think it was senior year of high school. Was we had our licenses, license I,
Right.
if you will,
Right.
and
I will.
thank you. And one of my roommates now, his name is Chad, and he
Chadwick?
was driving in his car, and his car is pretty old. It's like 2000. It's a 2003 Suburban. The license plate number is, I probably shouldn't say that, but
Yeah.
the,
And what was wait, hold on. What was his driver's license number as well?
driver's license number.
And if you could also give me the VIN, that would be great.
Oh, I've got the VIN. Yeah, here it is. We were driving, me and him, and what was it? Oh, I needed dress shoes. Because he was borrowing dress shoes from me to go to some event. And so I was like, let's go to my house as fast as possible, get the dress shoes, and we can drive back, and you can go. And he was like, all right. So we're in his car, and we're just trying to be like weird kids, high schoolers, and we're pretending we're in a movie. He's really into movies too, and so I got me into movies. So he's playing this like soundtrack from like Italian Job or something, and so it's like intense. And we pull into my driveway super fast in this giant Suburban beat up car, and I get out, I jump out, and I run up with I had a black phone case, and I ran up like this into my own house. I ran up like this, and I ran, and I posted up against the wall of my house, and I knocked on the door, and I was like this while he's blasting the music to like some spy movie, and my sister opens the door, and I go like this, and I go inside and shut the door, and then I'm just like, sorry, me and Chad are doing a bit, and I'm here for shoes. I need to come get some shoes. And so then I end up looking for my shoes, my dress shoes. I don't have any. I left them. I think I was in college. I left them at school. This is over a break. I left them at school, so I didn't have them. And I came back, and I was like, dude, I don't have them. And he's like, all right, get it. So I sprinted back to the car. He's like, get in. I jump in. He goes, and speeds off. We go, and we left, and then he ended up getting shoes from somewhere else, but he had to drop me back off at my house again while he went to some event. So he drops me back off. I go into my house, and I'm like, hey, it's just my sister and my younger brother are home. And then we're just chilling. And then my mom and dad and aunt come home, and they come through the garage, and my mom and dad come in, and they're like, hey, what's going on? How's everyone doing? And then I'm like, good. And then my aunt's like, Leslie, come here. And it's my mom. And like, Leslie, can you come here for a minute? And then she like goes out and was like, what? Oh my gosh, what's wrong? And there's a cop, like a fully suited up cop with a giant gun in our garage. And he's got like a big M16, and he goes, did anybody like come in here with a gun? And then we were like, what? And then they're like, is the house secure? Is everybody here? And like, we're freaking out. We're like, oh my God, what? And they're like, yeah, the neighbors said that somebody went into your house with a gun. And I was freaking out because I didn't know that they were talking about me yet. So I'm like, oh my gosh. And they're like, did you check every floor of the house? And my aunt's like, my dogs are downstairs. And so she runs downstairs. And I'm like, wow, she was, willing to risk her life. She runs down there, and then and then it hits me, and I like look at my sister, and I'm like, do you think like Dad, it's from when I knocked on the door. And she was like, oh my gosh, yes, that's what it is. And I was like, oh shoot. And I said, and then like I literally said, and everybody looked back at me, and the cop looked back at me too. And I was like, I think that was me. I went up to the door and knocked on it, and I held my phone. I basically described that I held my phone like this, and I walked in like that, and I was like, we were trying to pretend we were in like a movie, and then the cop is like, okay, and he goes in and he's like says something into his like little walkie-talkie, and it basically says something and it says stand down. And so then we like go look in the front yard, or like go to the front door and open it, and we see like 8 or 9 cops like decked out, like ready to like barge into the house. And I was just like, ooh, hey, yeah, like that was me.
That's my bad, guys.
I was like, that's on me. And the cop was like, it's fine. And we didn't like get charged or anything. He was just like, it's totally fine. And then like they left. But we lived in like a town that nothing ever happens.
Yeah.
And so that they had like the entire police force there, like ready. And
It's ready to take out Effie Shanks.
That's actually like an insane story.
Yeah,
That
that's
is.
that story,
I think you've told me that story before.
Yeah,
I
did
definitely
remember that, as
told
you were
it.
saying. Yeah.
I think I told it when I came back after break to the hall, and everybody was like cracking up at it because it was so stupid. I was like, yeah, man, we almost got
Classic.
shot. Like,
Jeez. Dan, you have any stories where cops have been involved?
I mean, I just remember when I was younger, the cops came to our house because of something I said over the 911 emergency line. I remember I was probably like 5 years old. My brother and I, my older brother and I, we were playing like some fictional game. He's like, dude, you have to call the cops. You have to call the cops. I don't know. We were doing something where somebody had to get arrested. So I called the cops and I started like yelling at him. Like, I forget what the heck I was saying, but
you
said-
actually called them and were like,
Yeah.
yeah, this guy, he's got a
Yeah.
hostage.
I was like going by my brother the whole time. I was like, stop, what are you doing? Like, I'm like, what? Like, you told me to call the cops. And next thing I know, like, you know, kind of, I don't remember everything. I was so young, so I don't necessarily remember what happened. But I remember my mom was kind of freaking out, and she got my dad, and my dad opened the door, and the cops were like, yo, we got this emergency call. Like, is everything okay here? And my dad, I guess kind of similar to what happened to you, except I was like 5 years old, so I don't really remember.
Yeah.
Dan's just like,
You know.
uh...
So, you know, I wasn't pretending I was in a spy film when I was in college, but, you know, when I was 5 years old, that was something
Dang, dude,
But-
that's right. We were doing that in college. That's so embarrassing.
Dan's just like so far ahead of us. He went to
Yeah, dude, he
kindergarten
went
at
to-
4.
You know,
yeah, I
you
went to
guys know
kindergarten
he
when I
went
was
to
4,
kindergarten?
so.
Pretty crazy.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. I vaguely, that's the problem, is I just don't really remember that much from it. But I remember my dad told me, like, you know, don't you ever do that again. Like, the cops actually thought there was an emergency here. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm sorry.
So be honest, did you ever do it again?
That was the start. I've been in trouble with the law every day since. So,
Let's go.
Yeah,
yeah.
that's a good start. I've done that though. I made a similar thing as my cousin. Hashtag shout out. Hashtag Jenna. Hashtag shout out Jenna. Is that we were at a beach house, and she goes, yeah, I'll call 911 right now. And I was like, do it. She's like, I'll do it if you do it. And I said, all right, I'll do it. And then
Wait, hold on. How old were you?
I think this was 19.
Okay,
No,
gotcha.
we were probably like 5, like same age. And she picked it up, and I thought I saw her type it in, and then she hung up really quick, and I was like, okay, I'll do it. And then I actually did it, and then hung up, and she was like stale, like what, you actually did it? And I was like, yeah. And she goes, I pretended to do it. I didn't actually do it. And then the cops showed up to our house, and my uncle was talking to him, and he was like having to convince them that he was not like kidnapping us or something.
My God, you poor uncle.
Nothing's going on. And then the cop sat out there for like an hour, just like looking at the house. It was hilarious.
You framed
But
him.
every normal kid does it, right, Dan? Like,
Right.
I mean, it seems like it. Chris, where's your story?
I mean, I don't think I ever called the cops. I think one time I like punched it in, but didn't hit dial.
I thought
You
you were gonna
know.
say you punched some kid or something. Like, Yeah, one time I just
No,
punched some kids.
I do
straight in his
not
nose,
hate. I don't hate kids. Okay?
Stole his pacifier. Stole his giraffe. You know?
Yeah, some 19-year-old kid, right?
Pretty mean guy.
So moving on to another topic. I don't know if you guys saw this in the news recently. Pretty big moment for this group, actually. Believe it or not, Civilization 7 is coming out next year.
Oh,
Boo.
Civ 7.
Dude, this is so
Dude.
great. This is so great because look, I keep looking at my phone because my friends are trying to say what we're playing on Friday night, what game we're playing on Friday night. And my one friend keeps saying Civ, and he goes, Civ? And then I said, I won't play. And then he said in another group chat, hey, let's play Civ or something. And my other friend goes, is Matt out of town or something? And I said, no, I just won't play. And he goes, Matt is in town. He's just easy to pursue. Or persuade, sorry. Easy to persuade.
Pursue. Oh.
So he spelled it wrong, and then he's like, I'm not editing that. But he said he's easy to persuade, and there's absolutely no shot I would play that on a Friday night. My Friday night being ruined by Civ? No way.
It wouldn't be ruined, dude. The only thing that could make it better is if you were at a Switchfoot Reliant K concert.
Dude,
if I would only
concert.
play at a Switchfoot Reliant K concert.
So for context here, Civilization is a turn-based strategy game on the computer. I don't think we've explained this on the podcast before, so this is important to our lore, I'd say, just because it's kind of a running joke we have. So Matt, this one time, saw a few of us in the hall playing Civ, and he's like, dude, I'd be down to play Civ sometime. This was the one time...
I had Civ downloaded. I didn't have many friends in college yet. I didn't necessarily like the game at this point. I liked it. It was all right. But I wanted to make some friends, so please continue, Chris.
So this was the one and only time I ever played Civ with anybody that like was on our hall, which is kind of ironic. But so after that night, I would walk into Matt and Dan's room. And I just walk up to Matt and be like, dude, Civ tonight? We playing Civ? We never played. But it was just like
fun.
It was just like one of those things where it's like
without fail.
I would always bring it up at least once a day, probably more than that. It was like if we were going to like do something else, I'd be like, oh, should we play Civ while we're there? And so there was like a Switchfoot Reliant K concert at our school. And it was Dan's birthday. It was like, we playing Civ at the concert later? So if you ever hear us say Civ tonight, that would be the reason why. Mm-hmm. And that's why we are so excited for Civ 7.
Yes,
and we are totally going to play it together.
And you know what would be crazy? There's no way Switchfoot is announcing a new album.
Wait, are they touring?
Dude, this could be huge.
Wait.
Switchfoot World Tour 2024. Dang, they look old. Let's see if they're playing anywhere near us. No.
I'll make the trip anywhere.
As long as Civ is involved at the concert.
Wait, did they just start their tour? Wait, they start their tour tomorrow.
Oh, yeah. They start tomorrow.
That is crazy. Is that not crazy? Did you know that?
Dang, I did not know that.
That's
cool.
We can shift gears. I just wanted to bring that up because we love Civ here. I'm going to skip one of the questions I sent you guys. Where do you see yourself in 10 years? So we can...
good.
Yeah.
I was thinking about that, and I was like, man, like in a ditch somewhere, maybe not even alive.
Last week's conversation on what isn't a soup, I think, was a success.
You're bringing that back?
No.
Debate round 2?
No. Debate round 2, but it's a different topic. So I was just for fun looking up lighthearted controversial topics just to see what else is out there. Because that's a big one. What's a sandwich is one. I feel like, I don't know, the what's a sandwich one's kind of annoying. One of them kind of like really confused me. It was, and it kept coming up over and over in searches. It was, should adults play video games? I was like, why is that a controversial, like,
The answer is yes.
yeah, that is just weird, man. I don't know. Like,
Dude, that's only for kids, man.
yeah, I really don't get how it's like different than like TV, you know?
Yeah, good point.
Yeah, or like binging a show.
Yeah, it's like at least it's interactive. I don't know.
Right,
It's
'cause
got to be
with
better
TV
for you than TV.
With TV, you're not creating anything. It's just
It's
totally
it's
passive.
it's passive. At least video games are
consuming.
like an active thing.
Yeah.
Like at least your mind and fingers are active, but
I think it's just more of a stereotype thing.
it
It's
is.
more of a stereotype thing.
It is. I was just surprised that it was even like, why is that a controversial
I
topic?
think so. Here's the other thing: is I think if I'm playing devil's advocate here, devil's advocate, classic.
Oh,
move.
here we go
Um,
again.
No, I would just say that maybe it's the monetary cost, because you can hear people blowing all their money on video games, but nobody's gonna like.
I will push
spend it.
back on that. I will push
Okay,
back
we'll
on
go
that.
for it.
I disagree. I think video games is one of the cheaper hobbies out there.
Really? You have
Yes.
to buy a gaming laptop, which are like $2,000. You have to buy like the games.
Nah,
on
dude,
Steam
you
or
can buy
whatever.
Steam games are so cheap. Like so it depends on how you do it. Like you can buy Switch for $200. And then you buy a game where you get okay, let's say the Zelda game that came out last year.
Mhm.
$70, but it's like 100+ hours worth of gameplay. What other entertainment medium do you get 100+ hours of entertainment for $70?
You know, I never thought about it that way, Chris. That's a good
Because it's
point.
like if you go to the movies, let's
Yeah.
say you and a friend go to the movies and you guys get a large popcorn and a large drink. You're probably spending like 40 or $50 and it's like a 2-hour thing.
Yeah.
You know, so to me, it depends on how you do it. You could definitely spend a lot of money on video games, but also it's like once you have the equipment, there's a lot of like games that are just free to play too. You know, that you don't have to spend any money on. So
Yeah, like Fortnite.
yeah, fork knife. Yeah. So I don't know if I've swayed your opinion there at all, but generally I viewed it as a relatively low cost hobby for myself.
What do you say, Matt?
Yeah, I'd say that because, I try to get into golf as my hobby, and it's like
Golf is
That's an
$70,
it's quite the yeah.
$70 to play one time. I mean, it's like 4 hours of golf, but
Well, I personally think that golfing is sort of like a flex hobby. Like, yeah, I'm into golf. It's like you kind of just feel like you're flexing on people when you say that, you know?
no, I don't want people to know I play golf because I'm so bad at it. Playing with my dad on Sunday, and he's like, "Do you want to play?" And I was like, "Yeah, I obviously want to play with my dad because it's always fun."
Yeah.
But I'm like, man, that means I have to like actually play golf, and I'm so bad.
Yeah, golf is tough. I remember the only time I golfed was at your wedding, Chris. It's like, man, it's hard to be consistent with that. That's,
Yeah.
it's like
Oh, it's a tough sport.
slicing
Man.
and
It definitely takes a lot of practice to even get serviceable. I'm like barely serviceable,
yeah. It's
you
tough.
know. Next time you
Pros are
guys
great.
come to my house, we should play golf though.
Oh,
That
Mario.
would be fun. I'd like to do that.
That'd be fun. And you know what we could do while we were there? We could play
Civ.
Civ. Let's
Civ.
go.
Civ on the course.
Let's go.
Live on the course, baby. Let's go.
while
time it's ever been
we're
done.
going down the cart path, trying to like do our turn. Yeah,
Oh, dude, it's
that'd
your
be
turn.
amazing. You take the
Dude,
wheel
you
real
better
quick.
putt. Your turn's running out.
And you know what people would say? Those golfers would look at us and say, "Are they playing video games while playing golf?"
Maybe like,
Dude, that's
should
not for
adults
adults.
play video
Yeah.
games?
Should adults play video games? That's what they would say. Yeah.
Yeah,
I think that's probably how this conversation topic started. Actually, was somebody was
playing
playing
Civ
yeah
while
on a
playing golf.
course.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
definitely how it started.
I think that's how it started. Yeah.
Yeah, so that was wild. We don't have to spend any more time on that. I was just really confused at why that was even a question.
Yeah, I would say the biggest thing for me is it's more of a stereotype.
It is a stereotype. And I think it's one of those things that like when we're old, we're not going to like be weird about video games. There'll probably be
Yeah,
some
'cause they
other
keep
thing
growing.
that we're
Yeah.
weird about. So my controversial but lighthearted topic of the day is what kind of bear is best?
No.
Okay, just kidding.
Wait, what?
The real one is, do you wipe standing or sitting?
Oh, Chris, you aren't just asking this right here. Right here on the podcast.
Yes, I
Just trying
am,
to get
dude. Yes, I am.
Can I just say, I'm going to start this off. Who the heck stands up to wipe their freaking behind, dude? Like, here's the thing. If you're in a public restroom, as soon as you stand up, the thing just flushes without you even telling it to. So, like, half the time
Right.
when you're trying to do your little cleanup business here, it's flushing like 10 times. So what's the point of that? And half the world doesn't, like, a lot of the world have bidets. You think they're just standing up using a bidet?
That's a completely different thing.
Yeah, that's
These are
Well,
completely
you know what?
different.
Forget it.
There shouldn't even be any argument. I stand up, Dan.
Oh,
I
see,
do.
here it is. Here it is. Man.
I do, and I'm proud of it. I don't want to be like.
Well, you just assert
going
your
in
dominance
there.
over the toilet by standing over it.
It just feels weird when I sit down. It feels weird up in there, so I just don't like that.
I'm gonna be completely.
Putting my whole arm in the toilet, like that's what it feels like.
Well, yeah.
I'm
I hope
getting
not.
in the toilet.
Oh no, you don't have to do that. I don't.
Psychos.
I think you have the wrong mechanics.
Yeah, I think so too.
We need
so
to see instant replay and
so
analyze it.
to be honest with you guys, completely honest,
Oh no.
for the majority of my life, well, maybe not majority at this point, but for a good portion of my life, I was a stander.
Oh my gosh, Chris.
Because I never, like, I guess that's just how I was taught as a kid, you know? I guess that's just what I did, you know? But also it's like when you, yeah, I won't go there. So, no.
Ridiculous question.
Yeah.
What's going on?
So I actually heard this question on a podcast, I think in high school, and I had never thought about it before. I just always stood, you know? I don't know. And then people like got heated about this. And I was like, wait, like sitting actually seems like the better way to do it, you know? Because like when you stand, like your
seems
cheeks,
dirtier.
they clench, they like, you know, like it's harder to wipe.
How do you guys tie your shoes? Like, do you do one at a time, or you put the shoes on and then you tie both places? Like, you put the
this
shoe
is
on,
this
then
was
you tie,
another
put
question
the
I
shoe
saw.
on, and then the tie.
I just try to like, I try to not tie my shoes.
So
I
you
just try
flip
to
them
like
on and off.
leave them tied.
Yeah.
You know, I don't want to freaking tie my shoes every time I put them on.
That's crazy. I tie them. I put both of them on and then tie them. Also, another thing is when not that saying that I do this, but when people who are standers, they're not like this. They're like, you know, like
They're
there's
half
like
squatting?
They're like probably squatting.
Okay, so you're a
They're not-
squatter.
I'm not. My knees are not locked, standing straight up. Like I guess I'll wipe now. Like that's crazy. I'm like basically sitting,
so
just
you're
like
bending over.
My butt's above this.
You're just bending over and just, you know, I'm gonna let's just drop it right there. I don't on the shoelace topic. Don't they say that like psychopaths do, like, they put the right shoe on, then they tie, then they put the left shoe on, and then they tie? That's what I heard.
It was something like psychopaths. They put one sock on and one shoe on.
Oh,
And
okay.
tied it. Then they put one sock on and one shoe on the other
Okay,
foot.
so that's what
it
it is. Because I was getting a little worried because I'm a one shoe, put it on, tie it, another shoe, put it on, tie it kind of guy.
You're close.
That's a
Yeah,
little
I'm
too,
I'm one step away. So
it's a little too close for comfort.
It's
Yeah.
a little too close for my comfort.
Yeah.
it's pretty on brand. So
But you do have psychopath tendencies.
That's
so-
true. That's
Sorry.
true. Like
That's
with the
bad.
shoes.
like, yeah, exactly, with the shoes. But you know what? In my defense, I'm a sitter wiper, so it cancels each other out, I think, a little bit. So
My
Well, I
family
don't
got-
think standers are psychopaths.
I kind of
My
do.
brother got a bidet for my parents for Christmas, or got it for my dad, and it was like this $300 bidet, and the only bathroom that has an outlet under the toilet is the one that's like the main bathroom upstairs. not like my parents' bathroom. So like I mean I use that thing and it is amazing.
Oh,
And
bidets are great.
I'm like I need to get one, but they're too much. My brother bought a house with his girlfriend, and they were like designing it like it was brand new. It's
Mhm.
like a townhouse, and they were designing it, and he was like, "I need to have an outlet on the toilet." And they're like, "That's an extra $150 to get an outlet there," and he's like, "I need it," and she's like, "No, we're not doing it." And then they finally agreed on like the bottom floor toilet is gonna have a plug so he can buy one and put it down there.
Well, you can get. I used to have a bidet that I bought off Amazon when I lived at my townhouse. That was like $30. You don't have to plug it into an outlet. You just have to connect it to like the hose of the toilet,
Really? Wow.
and you just like turn the thing, and it shoots the water out. It was.
Wow.
It was.
I,
There was no like control of how powerful it was, though.
Yeah.
So it was just like, well, I mean, I guess there was like how far you turned it to the left or right determined how strong it was.
Okay.
So-
That's all.
For
I
some
would
reason,
do. I would
the
need the
But
idea-
yeah,
300.
it's like $30.
yeah,
He's got a
$300
heated
one.
seat. He's got a heated
Oh my
seat on
gosh.
his. A fan after you're done, so it dries it off.
Does he own a Tesla?
That's
Sounds like a
kinda-
Tesla owner.
That's kind of cool, actually.
Yeah, it's not bad, and you can like
Yeah.
control like how hot or how cold the water is. And,
Yeah.
like,
Okay.
yeah, it's pretty
Little
good.
Jeez.
luxury experience. The idea of a bidet just sounds kind of gross to me. I don't know why. Which
Okay,
I think most
it
people say it's the
grosses a
opposite,
lot of-
but-
Oh,
Whoa,
it
what?
actually grosses a lot of like. I feel like it grosses a lot of Americans out.
Yeah.
Like I
Specifically,
remember, like
yeah.
my father-in-law came one time, and he was like weirded out by it. It's like it's just
He thought you were,
water.
like, insane.
Yeah, it's like it's
Um,
just water, man. Like I don't.
Tiffany, who did you marry? What is going
Yeah,
on?
he has a bidet.
Hey.
Yeah, I don't know. Kind of weird.
Yeah, I don't know why we're talking about this, but I feel like the it's surprising to me how the don't ask me how I know this, but the bathroom culture around the world is slightly different because you can cut this out, but like mi amiga
Yeah.
in Colombia, you know, she told me that I'm not going to say what it is because I feel like it's kind of gross. Well, I guess I can say it off the air, but
Off the record.
like
It's
off the
just-
record
This is staying
is- you want me to just say it?
in. You can do whatever you want. I'll cut it.
All right. Well, well, she
Maybe.
just told me that like the bathroom rules are slightly different than America, and she finds what we do weird, but I find what they do in Colombia a little weird. So I don't know, man. She told me that when they wipe, they don't throw the toilet paper in the toilet to flush it. There's a trash can. There's a trash can in every stall, and you put it in that specific trash can.
Okay, but is that like a
Because-
plumbing thing? Like
Yeah, because
so
she
like
said
do they
it-
not have like the right kind of toilet paper down there? Because like
Well,
you
they said-
don't want to flush like tissues and stuff down your
right?
toilet.
Because she said like it prevents clogging, and I
Yeah,
don't know, like
it
so
mu-
then you
they
don't have like
must-
janitorial issues and
They must have some sort of like their toilet paper must be different or their plumbing
or it's just-
Yeah,
something.
when
I don't know.
I went to Nicaragua and it was the same way. You had to put in
Really?
trash cans.
So
And actually,
I
some
think,
Mexican restaurants and like other like
Laca?
South American restaurants or whatever, Central American restaurants, they have trash cans in their stalls because I think it's like
So used to
Dude,
it.
that is so disgusting.
I know that's what I told her, but she told me like, "What? You flush it down the toilet? That's
Ugh.
crazy." I'm like, "What?"
Yeah,
I don't know.
because I think it's like the toilet paper is supposed to like dissolve.
Yeah,
You know, we must just have higher tech toilet paper here.
maybe higher tech toilets. I don't know. Don't ask me, dude. Guess I'll find out.
I don't know, man. All right, well, that's enough potty talk on this podcast. Am I
potty?
right? I think we can wrap this episode of the podcast up. Another successful episode. We really have just hit our stride, and we just aren't going to be looking back. Housekeeping item I want to bring up. I think we are going to try and start a series on YouTube. Working title. I'm thinking we call it the So You Didn't Have To show. And basically the concept is we're gonna like review stuff. Like, so the first one we're probably gonna do is we watched this Star Wars show, The Acolyte, so you didn't have to, and we are just gonna destroy it. We're gonna rip it a new one.
Can't wait.
So yeah, that'll probably just be a YouTube only thing, I think. So if you're interested in that, sub to us on YouTube. But we'll probably have clips of that like on Instagram and TikTok. So maybe. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I might not feel like doing it. But yeah, other than that, great episode. Matt, Dan, you guys have any closing thoughts, closing arguments?
Well, I feel like I've learned a lot about Chris today. That's what
I've learned too a lot about Chris and how he could be just a bully.
Yep.
Dan could be a psychopath.
Yep.
But yeah, no, I'm just picking things up and I'm just keeping it and trying to make my final decision like later. But this is good stuff today.
What are you then?
I'm just
what data have we
normal,
gathered?
like good Renaissance man, you know?
Yep.
Renaissance. All right. Well, this has been the Now We're Talking podcast for Daniel, for Matthew, for our co-hosts who just don't want to join us, and we hate them for it. Yes. Even though I think I may have forgotten to text them this week.
It wasn't answered. It wasn't answered.
Cut that out.
Cut that out.
Yeah. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to follow, subscribe. You know, whatever you're. Yeah, that one too. Yeah. Thank you for listening, and we'll see you next week.
See ya.